All right, good morning, everyone. We are now live on YouTube. Let's try to get started this morning. We have our 9:30 criminal AM docket for February the 3rd, 2022. I am going to ask that everybody please remain on mute until such time as your case is called. Once your case is called, you can go ahead and unmute yourself and identify yourself. Attorneys that have quick announcements and your clients are present, you can give me a reaction button by raising your hand and let me know that you're present. Also know the number on the docket. If you can please know the number on the docket, that will help us tremendously in getting right to your case as quickly as possible. I have Mr. De Luna, who's present here in the courtroom. I'll address Mr. De Luna. Mr. De Luna, I'm going to mute myself and so you can unmute yourself so that there won't be any interference, and I'll take your announcement.
Good morning, Judge. Judge, I have the state of Texas versus Edwin Leo Gonzalez Jr. on a motion to suppress that was set for this morning.
Edwin Leo Gonzalez is number 23 and 24. CR 7.2H. State of Texas versus Edwin Leo Gonzalez. What says defense? All right, defense is ready. What says the state?
The state is present. However, we're not ready, Judge. Unfortunately, we did, upon looking at the witnesses of this case, we were aware that, or I guess we found out that one of the officers is Officer George Cabrera. He unfortunately deceased within the last year and a half due to COVID, if I'm not mistaken, Judge. Being that unfortunate circumstance, we don't have any evidence to proceed forward on this case. So at this time, the state will be tendering a dismissal, Judge.
At the request of the District Attorney's Office, the case against Edwin Gonzalez, both cases, I should say, are hereby dismissed. Unfortunate, and thank you for that announcement, and our prayers out to his family, the deceased officer's family. As we move along and we move through our docket, though, in the interest of justice, the court is going to go ahead and dismiss these two cases. Mr. Luna, do you have anything else before the court?
Yeah, just one thing, Judge. I'll make an announcement for Mr. Jose Solis on CR 20-00244. It's the state of Texas versus Pierre. I believe it's I don't know, Soler, S-O-L-E-R.
It's number 53.
Number 53. CR 20-00244H, Pierre Evan Soler. Do we still have a pending felony in intake?
Yeah, Joseph, but unfortunately, the announcement is that that firm is no longer on the wheel, Your Honor. So they're going to be they filing either filing or file a motion to withdraw this case. So I guess you would have to be appointed another attorney who is on the wheel.
All right, is Mr. Soler present? Pierre Evan Soler, if you're on mute, please unmute yourself. Pierre Evan Soler. Pierre Evan Soler. I do see that there's a pending felony in intake. Who is the attorney on the felony? Yeah, but doesn't you wouldn't have an attorney present? Maybe court appointed. No.
Judge, it's showing up as Jose Solis and Jacob Salinas.
So the public defender's office?
I don't know that, Judge.
Okay.
It said on the 18th.
February 18th. Let me go ahead and reset this case to February 22nd.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have. Maybe excuse me.
Yes, you may. Thank you. February 22nd at 9:30. Right. Public defender. All right, Ms. Dora Garza.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm here on number 31. It's a restitution hearing for Leonel Lozoya.
All right, that's CR 21-12-448H, Leonel Brian Lozoya.
Yes,
And,
Judge, in this case, I did get an email from the state late last night, and I did speak to my client. He is not in agreement, Judge.
I'm sorry. I'm her client right now. Ma'am, it's fine. I'll do the agreement.
Okay, so he's in agreement, Your Honor.
okay, in agreement with the restitution amount, or in agreement with
Yes.
having a hearing, or in agreement with,
To the restitution amount, Judge.
okay, and do we even have that amount?
Judge, yes, we do. It's $200.17.
$100.17.
$200.
Yeah, 200.17.
Yes.
200.17 is restitution. That'll be ordered.
Okay. I'll ask him to pick up the phone. Thank you.
All right. Anything else, Ms. Garza?
No, Your Honor, that's all I have this morning. May I be excused?
Yes, you and your client are both excused. Thank you.
And
Thank you.
Judge, I believe we may have had a representative from the city of McAllen logged on. May she be excused as well?
Yes, she is excused. The restitution is set at $200 with 17 cents. All right, Mr. Osorio.
Good morning, Judge. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well, sir. Thank you. I'm here on number 57 on the court's docket, the state of Texas versus Joel Brian Vasquez. And I did see Mr. Vasquez logged on the list of participants, Judge, so he should be on.
All right, this is CR 21-03-920H, Joel Brian Vasquez.
And Your Honor, my announcement for this morning, Judge, if I could just respectfully request a little bit more time to still continue reviewing discovery with my client. And also I will be reaching out to either Mr. Heller or Mr. Garcia later on to try to see if I can get a recommendation on this case, Judge.
Let me go ahead and give you March 29. I do see Mr. Joel Vasquez present. Mr. Vasquez, stay in contact with Mr. Osorio. We'll see you on March the 29th. That is a Tuesday at 9:30 in the morning, okay?
Thank you very much, Your Honor. And that's all I have before this honorable court. May I be excused?
You're excused. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Mr. Eloy, you with your hand raised.
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning. Your Honor, I'm here on number 51 and 52 on your morning docket. Miguel Angel Silva.
CR 21-05-645H, CR 21-05-659H, State of Texas versus Miguel Angel Silva.
Yes, Your Honor, he's present on Zoom under Silva Roofing, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm trying to identify him, but I trust that you have found him before I have. All right, your announcement?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, I was advised that Mr. Silva is PTD eligible, Your Honor. We just emailed him an application this morning to fill out, Your Honor. I wanted to ask the court for a little time so we can get that filled out and submitted to the DA's office as soon as possible.
Right. Let me go ahead. If it's okay, I'm going to give you March the 29th.
March the 29th. Okay.
At 9:30, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your Honor, that's all that I have on your morning docket. I have a case on your 1:30 docket this afternoon. May I be excused until then?
You're excused. You and Mr. Silva. I did find him finally under Silva Roofing. I see his picture, the business picture down there. So he's also excused.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, Mr. Caso, good morning.
Morning, Your Honor. Here on number 39 on your docket, Gerardo Dimas Moreno.
39. And that is CR 21-04-536H, Gerardo Dimas Moreno.
He's present, Judge. He's in my office across the hall in the conference room.
Okay.
I'm happy to bring him in if the court wishes to.
Oh, no, that's fine. Mr. Caso, this is a motion for competency, which was granted back in August. And do we have any information on that?
I do not.
Okay, does the state have?
Judge, unfortunately, we haven't had any contact with Dr. Pina as of late. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Caso can correct me, that there was an appointment set up for evaluation. However, we haven't received a report on that matter. I reached out to Dr. Pina multiple times at this point, Judge, and he hasn't responded. I understand that they're very backed up as far as evaluations go, and I don't know if that's causing the backlog. But on our end, Judge, we'll continue to see if we can get that report so that we can make an announcement for this court.
All right. Well, he's not in custody, so that's great. And maybe that's one of the reasons why there's a backlog on people that are out on bond, that their priority is jail cases. So Mr. Caso, any objection to some additional time?
No objection, Judge.
Let me go ahead and give you a date in mid to late April, if that's okay. And I'm going to ask for that date from Jackie real quick. All right, how about April 19th, 2022 at 9:30? That's okay.
That sounds fine, Judge.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Caso, today?
That's all I have. May I be excused, Judge?
You're excused. Thank you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Likewise. Mr. Cavazos.
Good morning, Judge. Jaime Cavazos here on number 28 and number 29, Judge, on your criminal docket.
28 and 29 is CR 21072288H, CR 21072278, State of Texas versus Johnny Albert Islas, showing no violations reported on his bond modification, which is great. Is Mr. Islas present?
He
Johnny
texted me,
Albert
Judge. He was,
Islas? If you're on mute, please unmute yourself. Johnny?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
All right, where's Mr. Islas? I heard you. Can you speak up one more time just so I can? There you are. I see you now. Thank you, sir.
I'm right here, sir, Johnny.
Okay,
It should be
perfect.
just Johnny Easton's.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Mr. Cavazos, your announcement.
yes, Judge, I believe we have an agreement with the state. We're just pending the documents so we can sign them up. Just a short reset, Judge,
Okay,
for a plea.
perfect. Let me go ahead and I'm showing no violations reported, Mr. Cavazos, and I know I've shared some information, and so for everybody that's here, and I want to share this tomorrow on Friday since we have DWI arraignments. Mr. Islas, I'm looking at no violations reported. I know that the court ordered a mobile device as a result of DWI. And in speaking with the state and in an effort to try to alleviate some of the costs and some of the expenses that a lot of us are having to deal with, given the state of our economy and the state of what we're dealing with, what the court is going to do. And Mr. Cavazos, please remind me when we come back for our plea. And Victoria, we're putting a little bit more responsibility on our probation officer to check up. But for all of the lawyers that are present here today, if you have a client that has a mobile device and they ultimately decide, we're not forcing anybody to do this, but if they ultimately decide to plea out their case, and they've had no violations while on the bond modification, if they've had no violations on their mobile device, the court is going to waive fine and court costs. So remind me of that. That's just my way of trying to help them, since they've had the mobile device on, to alleviate some of the costs that are associated. If they've done their part to try to keep the streets safe, if they've done their part, as difficult as it has been for them, I'm going to go ahead and waive the fine and court costs in situations where there has been no violations. Now, if there's violations, if there's missed tests, if there's late tests, if we have to give a sanction, if we've had to give an admonishment, then that doesn't apply anymore. And we'll discuss more about that tomorrow during our DWI arraignment. But I wanted to bring it up because I saw no violations reported, assuming that there's never been any violations for Mr. Islas. Just remind me that there's been no violations. And of course, our probation officer is going to do her very best to remind us of that information as well, so that when we get to a plea, if there's no violations, if there's been a modification, court will waive fine and court costs for those, so that they can save that money that they had to incur on putting the mobile device.
Thank you for your consideration, bro.
Of course.
Yes, Judge.
All right. That being the case, I'm assuming you want a plea and you're asking for a plea date. I can give you maybe February the 15th, the 17th.
Either one of those?
Okay.
Judge, and are they in the afternoon?
Yes, in the afternoon.
Either one of those days will work, Judge, at the convenience of the court.
Let me do the 17th.
Okay, Judge,
February 17th at 2 o'clock.
at 2 p.m.
And again, we'll confirm just to make sure that there was no violations or previous sanctions, but I'm showing no violations on this report. I trust that there's no violations. And again, if there's no violations, then waiver of fine and court costs.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Judge, is that something this court is doing?
That's just something that I'm trying to help. I'm trying to do my part to incentivize not having violations, incentivize being responsible, and at the same time, I need to give something back. If I'm asking for something from the citizens who are being asked to put this mobile device on, I'm sure that they're looking at me and saying, well, what do I get out of it? And some of them comply, and there's been no violations, and I want to reward that behavior because it really is helping us. It really helps the process. And so it's only me. It's only Court 8.
Okay.
I can't speak for my colleagues, but it's something that we've decided to try to accommodate those that have done what they're supposed to do. There's some that just we're here every week and there's violations, and and I'm having to sanction in situations like that. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to help. But in these situations where no violations are present and they've done everything that was expected and asked of them, we definitely want to reward them. And sometimes, and again, I'll discuss this tomorrow during our arraignment hearing, but we're talking about $500 minimum. We're talking about a $200 fine plus court costs. Court costs will run you $350. So $550, $600 that we're talking about. So we're just trying to compensate them for the price of the mobile device that they had to incur as well.
Mhm. Okay, Judge.
So remind me, por favor.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm also here, number 4, Judge. Mr. Casas was trying to log in. I don't know if he was able to. It was a restitution hearing. I haven't heard from the state if we're proceeding or not.
Judge, our announcement on this case is, so defense counsel and I had come to an agreement of $479.55 as restitution. The rest was to be left open. At this time, our announcement is that we're going to stay at that $479 amount. We're going to forego any other pending restitution, and that's at the direction of the representative for Hawthorne Suites, Judge.
Okay, so 479, how much?
55 cents.
55.
And just to confirm, Your Honor, that is the original amount we agreed to. It's not in addition to what we had agreed to.
That is correct.
Yes.
All right, restitution is hereby set at 479.55.
Okay, I will let Mr. Casas know if he was unable to log in successfully.
All right, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Judge. You stay safe.
Thank you.
I'm in Cameron in person, so.
What's that?
I'm in Cameron in person, so.
Oh.
They allowed me to use the jury room, so.
Well, be safe.
Yes, sir. Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you so much. I have Mr. Derek Salinas here in the courtroom. Derek, are you ready to make an announcement?
Yeah, lo hicieron sin mí.
Oh, you have a suppression set? All right, Derek's got a suppression. Let me just take an announcement on his suppression so that if you have somewhere else to go, you can go take care of that. You're not waiting. Mr. Gods, or Derek, what case is it? Number 45. Leslie Palma Perez? All right. Defense is ready? Defense is ready? What says the state?
Your Honor, state is present and ready. We have Officer Javier Luis checked in. He checked in yesterday, and Detective Peter Boyko, who has also checked in. I believe if they're not in the courtroom already, they should be arriving relatively shortly. There is a matter that I want to discuss on this case, but I'll take care of that in person, Judge. I think it'll be easier.
Okay, perfect. So Derek, if you have somewhere else, I'm gonna need to take care of my docket. We'll probably won't get to this for about another 45 minutes. Okay,
Jose.
thank you so much.
Excuse me, Judge. Jose, there's a Ismael Garcia, McAllen PD.
He is he's going to be on standby.
Okay, because
I don't necessarily think that I will call him to the stand, but I do prefer that he stay on standby just in case.
Okay, because he's present already.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Derek, we'll be on standby. All right, let's go to Ms. Martinez.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good
I
morning.
have 2 cases on your docket. The first one is number 35.
Number 35.
Marlena Lugo.
All right, that's okay. I understand that Mr. Puneda got retained on that.
Yes, Your Honor. That's correct. That's my understanding.
All right, is Miss Marlena Lugo present?
Good morning. Yes, I am.
All right, good morning, Ms. Lugo. See, Mr. Puneda, can you hear me? If you can hear me, you may be in another court, in another computer. Mr. Puneda, can you hear me? I know he's got his back toward His back is turned to us.
Yeah, I see him.
Okay, hang tight, Ms. Lugo. We'll be right with you when
Okay.
that's available, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Ms. Martinez, what other case do you have?
And then I have number 27 on the court's docket. Jesus Gutierrez, Your Honor.
All right, number 27, CR 21-11-488H, Jesus Noe Gutierrez. Defendant was to have been screened for mental health court. Was he screened?
Judge, I believe that's still pending.
Still pending. Is Mr. Jesus Gutierrez present? If you're
Judge,
on,
did provide him with the login information, but I'm unable to find him on the.
yes, is Mr. Jesus Noe Gutierrez present? Jesus Noe Gutierrez, if you're on mute, please unmute yourself. Jesus Noe Gutierrez. Ms. Martinez, last time we were here, he failed to appear and the court extended the courtesy, and I think we were going to get him screened. I think there was some communication between, or there was hopefully some communication between you and him.
Yes, Your Honor, I have spoken to him. I did provide him with the login information. I'm just asking for a little more time so we can get those results. I have had some difficulty contacting him and had to contact several family members. So if I could just have a little more time.
Mr. Garcia?
Judge, can we set this up for next week by any chance so that we can check on those mental health screening results? I know that I guess the person in charge, or the ADA in charge of the mental health court screenings, did write a note that he was to be screened. But my understanding is, again, they also have a lot of screenings that they're doing. This may have been something that they just didn't update the notes or didn't update us. So a week would give Ms. Martinez some time to get in contact with their client, as well as us some time to get in contact and see what the results of that screening were, Judge.
Let's do February the 10th, if that's okay, at 9:30. That's a week from today. Motion for continuance for his failure to appear will be granted. And he'll need to be here on March the 10th, on February the 10th, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am, February 10th, 9:30. Okay, J.R. Ramirez, if you're available.
Morning, Judge. I'm here for 58, number 59. It's a motion to withdraw, and we're urging that motion.
All right, 58 and 59. Motion to withdraw for Jesus Carlos Villarreal, CR 21-11-949H and CR 21-02-616H. Is Mr. Jesus Carlos Villarreal present?
Yes, sir.
All right, good morning, Mr. Villarreal.
Good
Mr.
morning.
Ramirez, the reason for your request for withdrawal?
The not complying with the terms of the contract, employment contract.
Okay. Court will go ahead and okay, well, let me first ask Mr. Villarreal. Obviously, there's been maybe some miscommunication between you and Mr. Ramirez. Mr. Villarreal, is that something that you haven't been able to comply with as a result of some sort of financial trouble?
Yes.
Okay, and do you feel like you could comply or would be able to comply to keep Mr. Ramirez retained, or are you asking, you don't have any objection to him withdrawing?
I mean, at this point, I mean, honestly, I can't say anything. You know, not that I don't want to pay. I just can't pay. I'm struggling financially. I'm even struggling to pay my rent, to pay my bills and everything. So this is the reason why I did for like 275th Court. They did something called the indigent department to see if I could qualify for a court-appointed lawyer. So that's what I'm trying to do right now.
Did you were you able to qualify in the 275th?
I think they're just waiting for a paperwork to get signed from the 275th Court, and that's about it. So,
okay, so there's a pending felony then. Is that your understanding also, Mr. Ramirez?
Yes, that's correct. And the motion to withdraw for the 275th was granted yesterday.
Okay, you were representing him in that case as well?
That's correct.
All right. Court's going to go ahead and grant your motion to withdraw. So your request to withdraw is granted. And Mr. Villarreal, can I have you please raise your right hand?
Yep.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Is your true and correct name Jesus Carlos Villarreal Jr.?
Yes.
And the questions I'm about to ask you, Mr. Villarreal, are about your financial situation. All right. I'm going to ask you, first and foremost, are you employed?
No, not right now.
Okay. What do you do for a living, or what did you do for a living?
I mean, currently I'm going to school. at STVT here in Westaco for combination welding.
Okay.
That's about it.
Do you have any minor children that you support?
Right now, yes. I mean, I do have a 3-month-old and my 1-year-old and my 2 stepdaughters. So.
Okay. All right. Mr. Munoz, Alex, are you available to take a court appointment?
Yes, Judge.
All right. In just a second, Mr. Villarreal, once Mr. Munoz finishes his announcements on this, in whatever cases he has, I'm going to put you and him in a breakout room. Court's going to go ahead and appoint Alex Munoz to be a court-appointed attorney, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. He has, for us? Okay. March the 10th is a reset date, Alex. March 10th, 2022 at 9:30, okay? So we're going to keep that March 10th date. In just a second, I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Mr. Villarreal, and that way you all can communicate, exchange information, reset date March 10th, and then once you're done, you're excused.
Thank you.
All right, hang tight, Mr. Villarreal. Don't log off, okay?
Yep.
All right, Alex, what do you have?
Judge, I have number 2 on the docket, Jacob Banda.
All right, CR 21-07-217H, State of Texas versus Jacob Banda.
He should be logged on, Judge. It's the PTDPOM status.
All right, PTD POM, I have a note here that it's a 60-day PTD status. He's completed all conditions. Is that correct, Victoria?
We're just waiting on the $100 payment, Judge. We sent over the payment letter to the clerk's office, but for some reason or another, they're telling him that they don't have it. So we resent it again this morning, and I don't know if there's been an update on that, Judge.
I just got called not that long ago about it. I believe those are just some miscommunication that's it's in the booking department. So I'll go ahead, when we get off of here, I'll go ahead and do that.
And once that's done, Judge, we'll be submitting that dismissal.
Okay. What do you think? Status maybe in a week?
If anything, a tickler in a week, Judge, yeah. But the dismissal should be submitted this afternoon.
All right, tickler February 10th. That's just for our purposes, Alex. So
yes, Judge.
We'll just follow up. All right, thank you, Mr. Banda. You're excused.
All right. Thank you.
All right, Alex, do you have anything else?
No, Judge, that's all I have this morning.
All right, let me put you in a breakout room with Jesus Villarreal. All right, Mr. Villarreal and Mr. Munoz, accept the invitation. Once you all are done, you all are excused.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Aguirre, what do you have?
Good morning, Your Honor. Your Honor, this morning I have number 10 on the court's docket, Cesar Cruz. He is logged in.
All right, CR 21-00633H, State of Texas versus Cesar Cruz. Have a note here, defendant to have produced 2 clean UAs by today. This is a carryover from December 9th.
I just saw that note yesterday. I don't believe those UAs have been provided, Judge. I'm not seeing them.
All right.
I know that Mr. Cruz does live in Houston. I'm not seeing any notes from Mr. Parson on that.
Is Mr. Cruz present?
Cesar Cruz, I see him logged in, Judge.
I'm present, Your Honor.
All right, what says the state?
Judge, well, we do need those 2 UAs. If we can get at least one of them, we can move over with the case.
Mr. Aguirre, how can you assist?
I can ask him to do it, Judge. That's pretty much all I can do.
At some point, though, if he doesn't comply, we got to move on.
That's true, Judge.
Yeah,
let's do a brief reset, maybe a week to get that in. If he doesn't get to us within a week, then ADR is off the table.
So that seems like a fair recommendation. February 10th. February 10th, 9:30. That seems very reasonable to me. Mr. Cruz, you got a week to give us a UA.
Just one.
You understand that, Mr. Cruz?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you got until February the 10th. Stay in contact with Mr. Aguirre.
All right, I will. Thank you.
All right. Alex, anything else?
Mr. Cruz, you can log off now. Yes, Your Honor, I have number 19, 20, and number 60. Leticia Marie Villegas, aka Maria Garza. She is logged in as well, Judge.
Yes, this is Ms. Villegas and Maria Garza, same individual. I understand that this is one of those carries over from a couple weeks ago where we were having some problems with her name.
That's correct, Your Honor. If I was just trying to get her arraigned on the record so we can correct anything that we need to correct.
All right, is she present?
I did see her logged in a little while ago. I think she is logged in somewhere.
All right, she's logging in now, I believe. Villegas, but I have a Vargas that's logging on.
Leticia Marie Vasquez?
Yes.
I'm not sure if she's logged in.
Well, number 60 has her down as Leticia Marie Villegas.
Yes, Judge, and I believe she showed up late to court the other day and the court reset her to the 8th.
She was
Then I
logged
saw
on
it pop
earlier.
on.
She was logged on earlier, Judge.
All right, is Leticia Marie Villegas or Maria Garza present?
Yes, sir.
There we go.
Okay, good morning. All right, so we've got some issues here that we need to work through, and specifically we have Miss Vasquez, who's logged on as Leticia Marie Vasquez, but Leticia Marie Vasquez is not on my docket. I have a Maria Garza, 2 cases, and a Leticia Marie Villegas. And none of them are a, failure to ID. So I'm assuming that there's just been a mix-up somehow.
I'm hoping so, Judge.
Judge, it's listed as an AKA. I don't know where that stems from because her old cases show one name, her new cases show another. But the booking photo is the same person. So I don't know where the issue stems from, Judge.
Judge, maybe if we put her, if we swear her in and ask her to testify to what her actual true and correct name is.
Well, that's the point of the arraignment. So to
Okay.
identify the defendant.
I need her to turn on her camera.
That's her.
Okay. All right, ma'am, let me ask you right now. You're logged in under Leticia Marie Vasquez. Is that your true and correct name?
Yes, sir.
All right. Can I have you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Is your true and correct name Leticia Marie Vasquez?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Vasquez, at any point, were you booked into the county jail under the name of Maria Garza?
Yes, sir.
Right. And how did the name of Maria Vasquez come about?
Maria Vasquez?
I'm sorry, Maria Garza.
Maria Garza. When I
Well, Judge,
Well, I gotta identify her name somehow. I gotta identify how this mix-up happened. I understand your concern. If you have a better idea, Mr. Aguirre, figure it out for me.
No, Judge, I'm just saying.
I know.
That's
I
fine.
know.
Go ahead, Judge.
I was a criminal defense lawyer for 14 years.
I know that.
If you figure it out, figure it
That's fine,
out.
Judge. I just didn't want her to incriminate herself, Judge.
I get it, but how else are we going to figure this out? Unless you can figure it out for me.
No, Judge.
I didn't think so. It's complicated. I mean, how do we figure out how the name of Maria Garza came about without asking her? I mean, I can put you in a breakout room with her and you can ask her these questions. I'm assuming you don't know.
That's fine, Judge.
Okay, let me put you in a breakout room with her.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, breakout room number 2. I'm back when you're ready. George, what do you got?
Judge 54 and 55 on the court docket, Jose Luis Torres, he's present on Zoom, Judge.
CR 21077148 and CR 21077138, State of Texas versus Jose Luis Torres.
Judge, I'm asking the court for another setting in this case, Judge, and I don't know if I've received a recommendation.
All right. Is Mr. Torres, you said he was present, correct?
Yes, Judge,
I do see him there.
Yes,
All right.
Judge, I am present.
And how much time do you need, George?
30 days, Judge.
Let me go ahead and give you March the 10th.
Perfect. May he be excused, Judge?
Yes, he's excused, March 10th at 9:30, okay?
Judge, I also have number 17 on the court docket, State of Texas versus Angel Garcia. He's also present in the Zoom.
17, CR 21-09-353H, State of Texas versus Angel Garcia. First verbal admonishment given on January the 11th, 2022, and a note here to ask Victoria.
Yes, Judge, since the last verbal admonishment on the 11th, he has had 21 missed tests and 14 late on the sober sense report.
All right.
Judge, I don't know exactly what's going on with the missed test, Judge. I'd ask that if the state can send me a recommendation, Judge. This may be a plea. I'll talk to him, Judge. I think that it's his first DWI. And maybe we can get the case worked out, Judge.
Jose, something maybe we set up for next week?
I think that could work, Judge, and we'll send over paperwork and a recommendation.
All right, let me do February the 10th.
And if Mr. Espinosa can call me, Judge.
Garcia.
Apologies.
All right, Mr. Angel Garcia.
Yes, soon.
All right, stay in contact with Mr. Munoz. I'm resetting your case to February the 10th at, actually, I'm gonna set it up at 2 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
All right, February 10th at 2 o'clock.
Perfect.
Okay,
And the next case I have, Judge, is number 12 on the court docket, Juan Angel Espinosa.
CR 20-09-128H, State of Texas versus Juan Angel Espinosa Jr.
And this one has a pending felony, Judge. He's also present on Zoom.
Mr. Espinosa, if you're on mute, please unmute yourself. Oh, I do see
Yes,
him,
Your Honor.
Juan Angel Espinosa, perfect. I have a pending felony, George,
Yes, Judge, the felony's pending.
March to 29th at 9:30, okay?
Perfect. And the last case that I have, Judge, is CR number 9 on the court docket, Yadira Chavez, Judge.
CR 20-002-84H, Yadira Chavez. First motion for continuance was granted on the January 11th. Defendant must be present. Is Yadira Chavez present?
Judge, I don't see her present on the Zoom, Judge.
Yadira Chavez, if you're on mute, please unmute yourself. Yadira Chavez. What says the state?
State requests judgment NICE be granted, KPS issued, and bonds forfeited to the state of Texas.
Judgment NICE will be granted. KPS issued. Bond forfeited to the state for the arrest of Yadira Chavez. If you make contact with her, George, bring her in.
I'll bring her in, Judge. Judge, and I do have one more, Judge, number 30 on the court docket, Ira Jimenez. He's present on the Zoom.
Number 30, CR 20-09-650H, State of Texas versus Ira Jimenez.
And on this case, Judge, I'm asking for 30 days, Judge. I should have it worked out by then.
I think I gave you March the 10th on the other case, right?
March 10th.
Yes. Is that the same day I gave you on the other one?
I have, yes, March 10th, Judge.
All right, perfect. We'll give you the same day.
That's
March
all I
10th,
have.
9:30.
Perfect. That's all I have. May I be excused, my clients as well?
Yes, you're excused. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Redondo for Terry Palacios.
Good morning, Judge. We have Roberto Rodriguez Rojas, Judge. He's present on Zoom under Moto Silas 5G.
All right, that's number 48. CR 20-09-140H, Roberto Rodriguez Rojas.
Yes, Judge. A felony has been filed, Judge. We're set for an arraignment on the 9th, February the 9th.
All right, so let me go ahead and give you, how about March the 10th? Gives you about
That
30
works.
days. If you need to bring it in, or we can accommodate you sooner and you need our help, just any Tuesday or Thursday would help or would work.
Sounds good, Judge.
But for
That
now,
works.
March the 10th.
Thank you, Judge.
March 10th, 9:30.
That's all I have, Judge. May I be excused?
You're excused. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr. Kennedy,
Morning, Judge.
good morning.
Judge, I have one case in the docket this morning. It's number 40.
40. CR 21-10-205H, State of Texas versus Michelle Moreno.
She should be on Zoom, Your Honor.
Michelle Moreno?
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. See you there, Ms. Moreno. Mr. Kennedy, your announcement?
Judge, Your Honor, this is our first sitting after arraignment. I'm pending discovery on this case. I'm asking for a continuance.
Can I give you March the 29th?
Absolutely.
March 29th at 9:30.
And because the state sent me a rec on this case.
Absolutely. Just let you know, she is PTD eligible, but just get in touch with us.
Okay, thank you very much. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you.
Thank
Mr. Trejo.
Morning, Judge. I have number 3 on your docket. Versus Isaac Ortega Bravo. He's signed in, Judge.
All right, that's CR 2010-479H, Isaac Ortega Bravo.
Judge, we're asking for more time in this case. There is a felony that's pending.
March the 29th, if that's okay.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is Isaac Bravo present?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, Mr. Bravo, March the 29th at 9:30, stay in contact with Mr. Trejo, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Maybe excuse, Judge.
You're excused. Mr. Pruneda, you took over for a case. Let me see. For Maria Elena Lugo.
That's correct, Your Honor. And good morning. I apologize. I was in County Court 1, and I had both computers on to see who came on first. But Judge, I was hired by Ms. Lugo last year, but we didn't get notice, and she didn't get a written notice from the court. It was the court of one of contacted Mr. Pulga. That's why we're here today. But I'm going to need some time so that I can go ahead and file a motion substitute, which I'll take care of today, plus a motion discovery, so I can get the discovery materials, and so I can meet with Ms. Lugo about the details of the case once I got the discovery.
Let me go ahead, Mr. Pruneda. If this day works for you, I'd like to give you March the 29th at 9:30.
March 29th, that'll work fine.
Okay.
9:30.
Ms. Lugo, stay in contact with Mr. Pruneda. We'll see you March the 29th at 9:30, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And thank you very much, Your Honor, for your indulgence. I
No
appreciate it.
problem.
Have a good day.
All right, Mr. Aguirre, let's go back to Maria Banda. And let me see, what number was it?
1920 and number 60, Judge.
Yes, 1920 and number 60. Were you able to?
Yes, Your Honor, if I may, the Maria Garza came up at booking. She was fingerprinted. That name was popped up. And that's what they used at booking.
Okay. So on that case, I guess we can do an AKA since it's under, she's already been booked under that name. We could do an AKA Maria. I believe she's testified that her name is Leticia Maria Vasquez. Is that correct?
Yes, and the name Villegas is on the other. That is her married name, I believe.
Married name. Okay. So do we go by Vasquez or do we go by Villegas?
Ms. Villegas, can you please turn your microphone on?
As a AKA.
Do you go by Vasquez or Villegas?
Villegas.
What is your married name?
Leticia Marie Villegas.
Okay,
Okay, so that makes that number 60 correct.
that's correct, Judge.
And then we just need to do an AKA Leticia Marie Villegas. Any objection from the state to add the AKA, also known as Leticia Marie Villegas?
No objections.
Now, this is going to take some time for the clerk's office to catch up and to make this adjustment, but does she need to be arraigned, Mr. Aguirre, on all these 3 cases?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe she does.
She's already been arraigned on number 60, so just number
Okay.
20? Okay,
Yes, Your Honor, number 60 is the one that really I was more concerned about. Just simply was a DWI. I wasn't sure if an arraignment had already been done.
okay. Well, what we can do, because these other 2 cases are not DWIs, if you want to submit a waiver, or you want me to just arraign her right now?
If you
Whatever.
could, Your Honor, just a quick arraignment if you wish, the court would indulge me on that.
All right, Ms. Villegas, I previously placed you under oath. That oath remains. You are here before the court under CR 2108-917H, as well as CR 2108-916H. Booked in under the name of Maria Garza. Our understanding now is that you have, your legal name is Leticia Marie Villegas, Villegas being your married name. I need to advise you that you're here before the court charged with the offense of possession of a controlled substance, a Class A misdemeanor, and failure to identify, a Class A misdemeanor. Class A misdemeanors carry a potential penalty of up to 1 year in the Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine upon conviction. Do you understand the range of punishment you could receive for these two offenses?
Yes, sir.
Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane?
No, sir.
Counsel, speaking with your client, do you find her to be mentally competent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court's going to go ahead and make a finding that Ms. Leticia Marie Villegas, also known as Maria Garza, is mentally competent. I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty for her at this time and reset all three cases for March 29, 2022 at 9:30. Again, that's March 29th, 2022 at 9:30 for all of her three cases, which include number 19, number 20, and number 60 on the court's docket. Now, as to number 60, I am showing that there was no violations reported on the January report. However, if I go back to the December report, there was one positive. No retest was provided, but there's been no previous admonishments either. Do we have an amount on that, Victoria, as to the amount of that was?
Yes, Judge, it was a 0.07.
0.07 BAC. Okay. Now, Ms. Villegas,
Yes, sir.
as far as the one positive, what I can tell you at this time is that I'm going to give you an admonishment just to let you know that number one, we're watching, we're keeping tabs. Everyone's entitled to one verbal admonishment before I take sanctions or before I administer any sanctions. At this time, the court's going to go ahead and just give you this verbal admonishment. Please talk to Mr. Aguirre. He's well aware of how the court operates and what would happen if there's any previous or if any future violations. I hope there's not. But again, we have a 0.07 on the 14th of December at 6:06 p.m. with no retest provided. So, Mr. Aguirre, I trust that you'll kind of give her the framework of how we were operating. I don't know if you were on earlier, Mr. Aguirre, and for those lawyers that are just logging on, if we have no violations to be reported and an individual, and I think you have one, you have somebody coming up, maybe even today, this afternoon. If there's been no violations, if they have a mobile device and there've been no violations, then the court is going to waive fine and court costs when their case is taken care of. Okay. But in this situation, unfortunately, there's been one positive. So, and a verbal admonishment's been given. So this won't apply, right? But this is to try to incentivize people to comply, to pay attention, to make it a top priority, because we're talking about, over $500 that they're going to be saving at the end of it if the case is resolved by way of a plea. So again, just FYI for everyone's information. I know that this is going to take a while for the information to trickle down to all the lawyers who are practicing. But tomorrow, at tomorrow's arraignment, we'll have more information about that on how we're going to be treating that going forward, which is if a mobile device is installed and there's no violations and the case is ultimately disposed of by way of a plea, the court will waive fine and court costs, which will save your clients about $500 to $600, depending on what the state assesses fines at, and the court will waive that. So again, this is just to incentivize and also to help the defendants offset some of the costs of the mobile device that they have incurred and that they've been diligently participating in the program with, and no violations, and kept the community safe, and they've done their part. So I'm going to do my part. And so That's just so everybody can be aware of the policy that we're going to be tweaking just a bit, starting tomorrow. But FYI, it applies to any future cases. It doesn't start tomorrow. If you have a plea tonight or this afternoon, I'm sorry, and you want to plead someone out and there's been no violations, I'll honor that. It's something that we're going to start doing. All right. Anything else, Mr. Aguirre?
No, Your Honor. So 3/29, 2022 at 9:30.
Yes.
Okay, Ms. Vasquez, please write that down and call my office tomorrow, please.
Sir.
Okay.
Is she excused, Your Honor?
Okay. Is Alex? He's already off. Oh, Alex, I appointed you to Pierre Evan Soler. Can you reach out to our office and we'll give you that information, okay?
Is he on the docket today, Your Honor?
Yes.
What number is he on, Your Honor?
53?
Number 53.
Yes.
I will reach out to your office, see if I can get contact information for him.
Please, yes. February 22nd is the reset date. Do you have anything else?
I have one more, Your Honor.
All right, go ahead.
Number 36 and 37, Nathan Luna, he is present.
CR
He is logged
2101 600H, CR 1907 634H, State of Texas versus Nathan Armando Luna.
Yes, Your Honor, this is it looks like it's a motion to adjudicate on one case and he has a harassment charge on the other. A plea recommendation was made. I need to sit down and discuss that with him. I hopefully will do that tomorrow.
All right, and so a reset date, how about March the 29th, the same as the other previous case?
Yes, Your Honor.
March 29th, 9:30. All right.
And I believe, as I said, I believe he is logged in.
Nathan
Nathan.
Luna?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, stay in contact with your attorney. We'll see you March the 29th, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Luna, please call me tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
And that's all I have for this morning's docket, Judge. I'll see you this afternoon.
All right, see you this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Flores.
Good morning, Your Honor. I have Jose Guadalupe Gonzalez this morning. That's CR 21059990H.
That's number 25 and 26.
Yes, Your Honor. In that case, our office did try to contact him. I don't see him on the screen.
All right, motion for continuance is granted on the 11th of January. Is Jose Guadalupe Gonzalez present? If you're on mute, please unmute yourself. Jose Guadalupe Gonzalez. Jose Guadalupe Gonzalez. What says the state?
State request judgment in ISI be granted, KPS issued and bonds forfeited to the state of Texas.
Judgment ISI will be granted, KPS issue, bond forfeited to the state for Jose Guadalupe Gonzalez. Ms. Flores, if you make contact with him, please bring him in.
I will, Your Honor. Thank you. That's all I have. May I be excused?
Hold on, just real quick. I have a Jose with his hand raised. Sir, that's not you, is it?
Your Honor, I don't believe so. That's not the picture that I have. for him.
Okay, all right. I just have a Jose who, sir, can you hear me? Yes, sir, you right there. Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Can you log off and then log back on? I don't know if you can hear me. All right, Ms. Flores, thank you so much. If that's not him, then I just wanted to make sure.
Thank you, Judge.
All right. I have Mr. Ortegon. You're here in the courtroom. You have number 1.
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right, this is CR 21009655H, Roel Abrego Jr.
That is correct, Judge. Jorge Ortegon for Mr. Abrego. He should be logged on, Your Honor.
I do see him there.
Judge, on this case, we are respectfully requesting a bench trial. I spoke to Melissa on this case about an ADR. They weren't going to grant an ADR because he had a prior ADR, Judge. However, they have no contact with the victim. They have no contact with the victim, Judge. So we would respectfully be requesting a bench trial as soon as possible, Your Honor.
Judge, that is correct. We have no objections to waiving a jury trial at this time. Mr. Ortegon is correct. Our office has had no contact with the victim. We've sent out letters. This would give us an opportunity to subpoena him. We would be asking for at least 30 days to be able to send those subpoenas out and give sufficient notice, Judge.
The bench trial dates that I have right now on my calendar are April the 6th. So I'm going to keep that date if that's okay.
That works out, Your Honor.
Right, April 6th, 2022 at 1:30, okay?
That's all I have with this honorable court, Judge. May my client and I be excused.
Mr. Abrego, stay in contact with Mr. Ortegon. We'll see you April 6th at 1:30.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. All right, do I have any other, Mr. Aleman, you have your camera on, and then Mr. Hernandez after that.
Your Honor, good morning. I'm
Good
here on
morning.
number 49 on the court's docket.
All right, number 49 is CR 2012-2758. State of Texas versus Exxon Rigoberto Sanchez. The carryover from 2 days ago. Did we have some trouble getting a hold of Mr. Exxon Sanchez?
No, Your Honor.
Let me mute him. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Aleman.
Your Honor, I believe I was running a little bit late. I had several court hearings. I believe by the time I logged in, Mr. Sanchez was there.
Got
There
you.
was
I remember. Yes,
There were
yes,
some
sir.
violations. I believe the court reset it to today, Judge.
Yes, sir. Have you had an opportunity to visit with your client about those violations, Mr. Aleman?
Your Honor, I had spoken with him. He had admitted to me, to be honest with you, before the last court hearing that he was gonna have some violations, and I did speak with him about, needing to do better. Obviously, during the holidays, there's always certain temptations to try to celebrate, I guess, more than he should. And obviously, at this point, he's at a zero tolerance policy, right? And so I did speak to him about that. He's willing to do any sort of classes, any extra sort of, treatment options pending the resolution. At this point, Judge, we are still pending a felony evading charge out of the same transaction. So I'm sort of, and I would like to move forward with some sort of probationary type rehabilitation, but right now I'm still sort of as his advocate, I can't, push forward with this.
No,
So,
I totally understand. I totally understand the position you find yourself in. What is the recommendation from the state? Have we given a verbal admonishment for him? We
Judge,
have,
this
right?
is this is the case, I don't know if the court will recall, where my client had a prior device and it was
Big
that
one.
nuclear football. Yeah.
The football, got you. All right. And then he
And so
changed
in
it.
all honesty, I know that was issues before, Judge. I just wanted full disclosure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure since he got this device, if he has had admonishments, Judge, but I know that with the other device, I know he was having problems with that, Judge.
Judge, at this time, we're going to recommend MAD impact panel and AIP.
All right, I think that's a reasonable recommendation. We can address AIP. He has to take the MAD. I think that's reasonable. And the AIP, we can do it for 30 days and see how he does. Is your client okay with that, Mr. Aleman? Do you want to visit with him in a breakout room?
Yeah, well, obviously, we're at the sort of mercy and discretion of the court. So that's what the court orders, that will abide by that, Judge. He's trying his best to, stay, obviously stay out of jail. There are some immigration issues as well. So we appreciate.
I want to make sure that he's compliant and he does comply. Victoria, who's going to reach out to him for AIP, and how can he get information on the MAD device or the MAD impact panel? I'm sorry.
Yes, Judge. So the AIP officers will call him for an intake once we submit the order, and then I can email Mr. Aleman the information for MAD.
Okay. And I'm going to give you a reset date for March the 29th, unless the state feels that maybe we should do a date sooner to make sure that he's complied with the MAD impact panel. I'll leave that up to the state. We're waiting on a felony. That's the only reason. Yuri?
Yes, Judge. Sorry.
Are you okay with me giving him a date back in March the 29th, or?
That's
or do you want me to give him a quicker date because the state wants to follow up with his, MAD class to make sure he's at least complied with that?
We'll leave it to the court's discretion.
Chalaman, you think he'll comply, or do we need to kind of give him
Judge, I
training
would
wheels?
appreciate the March 29th. I just want to be clear, though, for my understanding, the AIP is for 30 days from today. In other words, it's not.
Oh, you know what? Yeah. You're right. That's a good point. Let's do March 8th. Let's do March 8th, and that will be the 30 days, and then we'll see how he's doing on AIP and if he's complied and completed the MAD impact panel.
That'll be a good idea, Judge.
March 8th at 9:30.
May we be excused at any time, Judge?
Yes, please stay in contact with him. I know I had to mute him because he was caring for some children, so please visit with him, okay?
I will, Judge. Thank
All
you.
right, thank you.
Appreciate it. Have a great day.
You too. All right, Mr. Hector Hernandez.
Good morning, Judge. Hector
morning.
Hernandez here. I'm here with Mr. Guadalupe Lozano. He's Lupe's iPhone on your screen, number 32, 33, and 34 on your criminal docket.
32, 33, and 34, State of Texas versus Guadalupe. Jose Lozano, depending on AIP, I'm showing no violations reported from AIP, which is great. And I do see Mr. Jose Guadalupe Lozano.
Yes, Judge. I think we just need a little bit more time to confer with the state regarding maybe plea negotiations. I don't believe there's anything else pending unless I'm mistaken, but I think we're good.
Okay, so how much time do you think you need?
I'll defer to the state, Your Honor. I did send an email late yesterday regarding plea negotiations to see what we can do. So I just need a response and I can go from there. About 30 days, maybe.
All right, March 13th? Sorry, March the 10th?
We'll make it work. You know, we'll try to figure it out.
Is it? Now, Hector, this wasn't going to be a plea. This is just an announcement, right?
Correct. These are the statuses to see where we're at, Judge. We just need a little bit more time.
Okay, so March the 10th.
Thank you, Your Honor. May we be excused?
Yes, March 10th, 9:30.
Yes, sir. You all have a good day. Thank you.
Thanks.
Your Honor.
Okay, Jose, I can see you there. Having some difficulty. I think you're having some difficulty hearing me. You raised your hand. Hey, Jose. Logged on as Jose. Can you hear me? All right, Mr. Cesar Aguilar.
Good morning, Your Honor. I have number 50 on the criminal docket.
50.
Yes, Your Honor.
CR 20-08-014H, Antonio Sepulveda.
Correct, Your Honor.
Sepulveda present?
He should be. I've been. Yeah. There,
All right,
there.
under Westlaco, Tony. All right, Mr. Aguilar.
This case, Hunter, has been reset a few times, only for the reason being that I do believe there is a felony pending. So I'm not too sure if it's already been indicted or processed.
Do you have any information from the state?
Judge, let me look it up, but I do know there is a DWI pending an intake. Let me check for felony. That DWI is a third or more, so it's still pending intake, Judge.
Okay, so let me go ahead then and Mr. Aguilar, I'm assuming you're asking for some additional time.
Oh, yes, Your Honor. So for the felony to come in.
Let's do March 29th at 9:30.
March 29th. Okay, Your Honor. Thank you. May I?
Thank you. You and your client are both excused.
Thank you.
Ms. De Luna.
Good morning, Your Honor. I have, I'm not too sure what number it is on your docket. It is Arturo Castillo. He is present. I think he might be under a different name or phone description, Your Honor. I apologize for my late appearance. I did not have this on my calendar today for some reason or another.
Okay, CR 19-15-715H, Arturo Castillo. I said, what? I'm just gonna ask this question, maybe it's escaping me, but second DWI, but no bond modifications?
Yes, Your Honor, we spoken about it in chambers in regards to why that situation was.
Okay, so we've already addressed it.
Yes, Your Honor.
Gotcha, okay.
And just for the record, Judge, I was present during those discussions.
Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. Yeah, of
That
course.
was
It was something that we all agreed on and there was some exceptional
The
reason.
circumstances. Yes,
Gotcha.
Your Honor.
Okay, just check.
And that's why we took it off. We did, it wasn't discussed in here, Your Honor.
Gotcha. Okay. So your announcement, Ms. De Luna.
Judge, I do need a little bit more time. I need to get with the state as far as a rec and what we can do on that. I'm not too sure if I have one yet. Like I said, I didn't have this on my calendar today, so I didn't reach out to them to try to get that done.
Okay, can I give you March the 29th?
That's fine, Your Honor.
Jessica, Ms. Luna, he may qualify for Veterans Court, so I would suggest submitting an application.
Okay, I'll get with you just to verify what that is and such and how we need to go about it because I'm not too sure.
All he needs
And
to do is submit a PTD application and a DD 214.
okay, then Judge, I'll explain that to my client and get with them and see what our options are so that we can see what our next move is.
Sounds good.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. You and your client are excused.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
You all have a great day. Stay safe.
You too. Thank you. Mr. Whitaker, can you hear me?
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
I've got Pablo Pena on your docket. Hold on, I had his number out. 43 and 44. I don't know if he's there. Mr. Pena, if you are online, please unmute and identify yourself, sir.
CR 2107-559H and CR 2107-560H. Pablo Pena Jr., if you're on mute, please unmute yourself. Pablo Pena Jr.
Judge, just so the court knows, I've tried texting him. I also tried the chat feature on your court Zoom system, and I have tried calling him. So I've done everything that you can do this morning. And yesterday, I emailed him a copy of the Zoom info. Judge, the only thing I have to announce, other than his non-existence on our Zoom court, is that I'm still awaiting discovery from the DA's office.
Guys, any information on that?
Judge, let me double check to make sure. Oftentimes our admin staff includes notes of when discovery has been sent. Let me just double check that we haven't sent it over. And
Judge, we're showing that Mr. Whitaker was sent a discovery on December 1st, 2021. But if he hasn't received it, we can send it again.
Well, if it's there, I'm going to look.
And there's also a USB pending pickup. Oh, no, you picked it up on December 9th.
I already have that. Yes, okay. I think I already picked that up. I don't recall that email though. And do you know who it was from?
I do not, but I can resend it to you after docket.
All right, let me do this. I'm going to go ahead and grant a motion for continuance since he is not here. And I'm going to reset your case so that you can have a chance to look into that discovery issue. I'm going to reset your case to March the 22nd. March 22nd, 2022 at 9:30, Mr. Whitaker.
Very well, Judge.
All right. He will need to be present
Judge,
at that time, okay?
And thank you very much for showing up to that CLE. That was very nice of you. I hope my thank you letter got to the court.
I did. Where is it? I got it right here.
Yeah, I think by hand writing it delayed how it slowed that process down.
It's impeccable. You and my daughter have really nice penmanship.
Well, I was forced to go to Catholic school through first grade. And so I think that was probably the thing. Thank you so much, Judge.
I went to Catholic school from for kindergarten through 5th grade. It didn't help my penmanship.
Yeah, you didn't have the right kind of nun, bub. That's the issue, Judge. You get those mean nuns. Yeah, you comply.
I had a few that would put duct tape on your mouth if you were talking.
Anyway.
The ruler to the knuckles if you were, throwing spitballs or stuff like that. So
there is something about those nuns that just put the fear of God into somebody.
That's the separation of church and state. They're not subject to any of the rules that the rest of the school districts are under.
Yeah, no, they have their own codes. Yeah. It's very strange, but anyway,
I turned out well, so I thank them now.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day, sir.
Mr. Whitaker, can you please confirm your email address?
Oh, it's teksus@mac.com.
I am sending it now.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Right,
have a good day. Stay out of cold.
Mr. Olivares, what do you have?
Good morning, Your Honor. I have numbers 41 and 42 on the docket.
All right, CR 2105-211H and CR 2105-210H, Brittany Nicole Nieto.
Yes, Your Honor, being that there is still a felony pending at intake, we're requesting additional time.
Okay. Don't have a problem giving you additional time, Mr. Olivares. I can give you March the 29th, 2022 at 9:30. However, I do want to address one issue with your client. I do see that she's present, and that is the January report does show 16 late tests and 12 missed tests, but there's been no previous admonishments given to Ms. Nieto. I don't know if you've had an opportunity to take a look at that report. We're more than happy to send it to you so you can visit with your client about it. As I always do, if there's been no previous admonishments, I usually give a verbal admonishment to Ms. Nieto. I'm sure she's heard me giving these this morning. And unfortunately, I think what it means now is that because we're giving this admonishment, that for purposes of, consideration with, waiver of fines and court costs, that's kind of not an option for her anymore. But I hope I don't have any more violations going forward so that we don't have to address it with any additional sanctions. And I'll treat this as a verbal admonishment. We'll jot it down. We'll know. Unless you want to address something, Mr. Olivares, with your client, I could put you in a breakout room with her to discuss. Sometimes windows need to be changed, modified, and today is the day to do that. Today is the day to discuss that.
Yes, Your Honor. I did speak to Ms. Rodriguez and Ms. Nieto, and we are going to be reaching out to Ms. Rodriguez to change the testing windows.
Okay.
I did get the December report, but not the January report. I know Ms. Nieto was recovering from COVID recently, and her grandmother passed away. So I know that was affecting her.
Right. Reach out with Ms. Rodriguez. She's got complete authority to modify windows as she feels are reasonable and whatever. I mean, it's within her discretion to work with us and work with you. So reach out to her. If she modifies them, great. If you feel like you'd like to address it with me, call us. We'll address it. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
I
have nothing further. May we be excused?
We'll see you on the 29th of March.
Thank you.
Judge Contreras, are you available? Jose Casares, can you hear me now, sir? I know he was texting that he was having some difficulty hearing us.
Judge, are you calling me? Sorry about that.
Yes, sir. Are you ready to make an announcement on your case?
Yes, Your Honor. On Jose Angel, your docket number 6, Your Honor. I know you know that, but it's Jose Angel Cáceres, Jesse Contreras for Mr. Cáceres, Your Honor, CR 2104-328H. Your Honor, the victim has filed an affidavit of non-prosecution in my office, but I'm going to send her to the prosecutor either tomorrow or next week, Your Honor, so she can go sign an affidavit of non-prosecution on Mr. Jose Angel Cáceres. I'm not saying that the state is going to dismiss, but I know the lady wants to not go forward with the allegations that she filed.
Let me give her a chance to do that with the state and reset this case to March the 10th at 9:30. Your client has been online. He's been having some difficulty. I don't know if he can hear us, but I can see him, and I know he's been texting through our chat. If you can reach out to him, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove him. And he's probably going to be logging back on and back on and back on. So if you can
we'll call him right now, Judge.
And just let him know that it's been taken care of, and let him know about the reset date, because I don't know if he can hear me.
What's the reset date, Judge?
March the 10th.
March 10th.
And Mr. Contreras, just for your knowledge, your client picked up a possession of marijuana on January 12th of this year.
Is that right? Shoot. Has a complaint been filed?
I'm not sure yet.
I don't think so. No, not yet.
Mr. Heller, congratulations.
Thank you.
How long you been for a while now, prosecutor?
With the DA's office, about 2 months, almost.
Congratulations. I like those posters in the back, man.
You're the first one to notice.
So it's 3:10, 9:30. Then I'll wait for the judge. That'll give us enough time to, hopefully that complaint comes in as well.
Sounds good.
All right.
All right.
You,
I'm going to remove him if that's okay.
Yes,
We can reach
yes,
out
Your
to
Honor.
him, please.
Thank you so much, Judge.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Okay, so we were waiting on a few. Jose, were you gonna make it over, or Yuri, were you gonna make it over? Who's gonna handle the suppression with Derek?
I should be handling it, Judge. There was just something that I needed to staff with Chief Melissa Lozano briefly before heading that way, so I can take care of that. And
I'll be heading over with him.
Okay, why don't you guys head over and we can handle the rest of the docket from here. In the meanwhile, I'll take a quick break while we wait for some lawyers to show up. All right, so hang over, Derek's waiting. And yeah, the court's gonna log off of YouTube.